good readers use nonfiction text features before, during, and after our reading to make meaning. Okay, as we are reading, we are gathering information so that we can confirm or revise our thinking, and you have been doing an amazing job of all of these things. We use those text features before we read to make some anticipations. It gets our brains wrapped around the text, kind of guides us to where the author wants to take us. We can start thinking what this might be about, what genre it is. We can start thinking about the author's purpose as we look at those nonfiction text features. During our reading, we use those for a couple of different reasons. We use them not only just to kind of check in on our understanding, but we can do the same kind of work where before our reading, where we're still continuing to make those anticipations. After reading, good readers use those nonfiction text features to, again, get the text back in our head. It's kind of like a review. Take a look at this text. I want you to start wrapping your brains around all of those nonfiction text features that you see. Just notice them right now. We've got this really prominent picture up on the top of the text. This caption says, shipwreck. The tanker Jessica ran aground, spilling oil. Okay, we've got this map of South America. The title, the Galapagos Islands face a sticky situation. I'm already starting to make some connections between this title and this prominent picture and thinking about this caption. Let's go down here. We have another picture. It's a tub of water, a pelican, and a man or somebody is holding his beak. The caption says, rescue workers gently try to wash oil from a pelican. And we've got this heading, the human threat. Okay. So boys and girls, we know that good readers use nonfiction text features before we read to make smart anticipations so that we can be prepared for the reading work that we're going to be doing. Turn and talk with your partner. What do you think this text will be about?
The oil spilled and made it have a shipwreck, so now they're stranded on the island. Now they have to find a way to get
so they
back.
could get the oil and then put it in this little tub so they could put it back in the engine so they could go.
You looked at those nonfiction text features and you're starting to make smart anticipations. What do you think this text might be about? Bella, what do you think?
I think it's going to be about a shipwreck that crashed and the boat had oil in it and it fell into the ocean and oil got in the ocean, and so animals that are in the water that went in the water got oil on them, and I think it's bad to get oil on animals.
Boys and girls, what do you think about what Delilah said? Kiara?
I agree with them because if the animals get oil in themselves, they could die. Because if the animals get oil in themselves, they could die.
Delilah, why don't you go ahead and share where you get this thinking? You said there's a shipwreck that crashed and the boat had oil in it and the oil's got in the ocean. Where do you get that part from?
I got it from the picture, and the picture said that it had water in a ship, and it said spilling oil in the caption, and then in the caption at the bottom, it says that if they were washing an animal because it had oil, and I already know that it's bad to get oil on animals.
All right, and so you are bringing your background knowledge. That's excellent thinking. So boys and girls, you have used your smart thinking and these nonfiction text features and your background knowledge, quite a few of you, to go ahead and make smart anticipations of what this text would be about. We can start making meaning before we even read, because that's what good readers do. We're going to go ahead and start reading this text. The Galapagos Islands face a sticky situation. Galapagos Islands, February 2nd. A ship carrying 240,000 gallons of oil struck an underwater object off an island in the Galapagos chain. The ship, Jessica, tipped over and began leaking oil. The fuel has spread over an area larger than the city of Los Angeles. What happened?
They hit something underneath the water like a big rock, and then it made a hole, and then a whole bunch of oil spilled out the ship.
Exactly. And boys and girls, I'm starting to anticipate that this could be a real problem. But let's keep reading and find out. It could take at least 2 years to complete the job. Turn top, why is this such a problem?
Because they didn't say in the text that a pelican, because pelicans sometimes take water from the ocean.
Why is this such a problem?
Because maybe as you said, I went back in the text and it said animals can die because of the poison if they eat it. And then I got my thinking from the pelican too.
Boys and girls, she's going back to those nonfiction text features while we're reading. She is going back to this pelican who's in some kind of danger. She's thinking about the text. They could get poisoned from eating it. Stephen, would you like to add on, because what you and Isla were talking about was really great. You were doing some great pushing back at each other.
Stephen, because the fish could die and they won't have any food, so maybe they'll just drink the water and then they get poisoned.
Well, can't the fish die and then the penguins don't have any food, so that would make the penguins in danger too?
Why don't like fish just, if there's oil in this one section of like ocean, why don't they just move like far away to another section of
But it would take a long time. It would have to
long
take
time
a
for
really
the
long
fish.
time.
It's as big as Los Angeles, so it'll take a long time for them to get to the other side where there's no oil.
This is not a little spill like the size of this table. This oil spill went everywhere. And let's look at the map, because we want to keep using these nonfiction text features while we're reading. Here's Ecuador. It said it's off the coast of Ecuador. And here is this area that says fuel tanker spill. And I want to go back to what Isla said also. She said that the fish are also in danger. Is it just these pelicans?
No.
No, it's not. Everything is going to be affected. The fish, it says the tortoises, it says the lizards, the sea lions.
The penguins.
Yes, so it's not just the pelicans, because that's what we see in the picture, but it's like the food chain. If one thing is affected, something else might get affected. Okay, let's keep reading, boys and girls. And remember, we want to be thinking about our smart anticipations, and if we are confirming that thinking or if we are revising that thinking as we read. Rescue workers treat the oily animals. This last paragraph kind of gets me confused, so as a good reader, I'm going to go back and reread just so I can make sure I understand that part. Because I want to make sure, but I think it might have to do with what Tevon was talking about a little bit. So let's go back and reread. The weather has helped out too. We have had luck because the sea currents, the winds, and the sun have kept the spill from causing major damage. Has it caused some damage?
No. Major damage.
Let's listen to my question. Has it caused damage at all?
Yeah.
Yes. Has it caused major, like a lot of damage?
Yes.
I hear yeses and nos.
And it helped it from causing major damage.
Could you repeat that?
It says on there, the wind and sun has kept the spill from causing major damage.
And what does
It
that
kept
mean?
it from.
It kept it from. What do you think about what Sarah said?
I agree.
Okay. So you're thinking about that. It says, had luck because the sea currents, the winds, and the sun have kept the spill from causing major damage. So we've had damage, we know that, but have we had major damage?
No.
And together we've looked at this map, we've figured out where this is taking place. A lot of you keep going back to this picture because you know there is some damage. Okay? We may not have major damage, but we have damage. Now, boys and girls, there's a heading, the human threat. Thinking about what we've read, the text that we've already read, thinking about those nonfiction text features, what can you anticipate this section might be about? Think about it in your head for just a minute. Private think time. The human threat. Turn and talk to your partner. Thinking.
I think it will be
People are in danger too because of their
What does that mean to you?
like they're hurting you.
What are you thinking?
humans are a threat too. because it says the human threat. Because the humans might be destroying their home. What I thought was nature. Okay, nature, we're part of nature, and the animals are part of nature, so it probably could be destroying us too.
What does a threat mean, Brianna?
It could be telling other people what to do.
Yeah, they might be telling other people what to do. The human threat? What are we talking about? What are humans?
We are
Humans. So the human threat. Let's go ahead and read this section. We want to think about what this section is all about. We're going to come back and discuss it when we're done. Okay, the human threat. Oil spills are not the only danger to the Galapagos. People are a danger too. More and more tourists visit the Galapagos every year. It may be too late to save this one-of-a-kind habitat.
Why can't they take all the animals and put them to a different island so that the animals don't die?
But that's their real habitat. That's their real habitat. That's where they need to stay. That's their real. They're already adapted to that area.
What are you thinking now? What was this section about? The human threat.
Animals are getting oil on them, and humans are trying to protect the animals too. They're already adapted to that.
I don't know. Okay, then it says people are a danger too. They are a danger to what? The animals. So we come back to this heading. It kind of helps us gather our thinking and helps us check in on our understanding of this section. These humans are threatening what?
The ocean and their animals.
The humans are threatening their ocean and their animals as well. It's not just the oil spills. Delilah, shipwreck that crashed, the boat had oil in it, and the oil got in the ocean, the animals in the ocean got oil on them, and that's bad. Let's think, let's all think. What do you think about Delilah's smart anticipation?
I think it's confirmed. I think it's confirmed because...
I think this was Jacob. Jacob, you said that the gas broke from the ship engine, it got on the Pelican, and had to clean the Pelican. What do you think about your thinking?
I think I could revise it.
Okay, why do you think that? Boys and girls, you've done some amazing work today using nonfiction text features before, during, and after our reading to make meaning. Okay, you've also used the information that you've gathered to confirm and revise your thinking. That's what good readers do. We want to anticipate and get ready to read a text, and so that we can start making meaning before we even read. We come back to those nonfiction text features at the end of this text to wrap our head around the text again and kind of check in with our understanding. Today you are going to get a new text. You're going to do the same work that we've practiced up here. We've practiced it as a whole group, and now I'm going to give you a chance to practice it with your partners. You're going to take a look at the nonfiction text features. You're going to use those to make some smart anticipations. Maybe you have some background knowledge about the text as well, and you can bring that to your conversation with your partner. You're going to make some smart anticipations orally. You're just going to talk about it. Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and read the text, and I want you to be thinking about those anticipations while you're reading so that we can come back and confirm or revise your thinking at the end of the text. Text today, we're going to practice the same work we did in a whole group. We're just going to bring it to a little smaller group. We're going to go ahead and look at all of those nonfiction text features. There's a lot going on this page. Okay? What are some of the things you see?
The title, caption, heading, picture, caption.
That's what I said. Look at those nonfiction text features and start making a smart anticipation in your head. Look at all of them. Maybe you have some background knowledge that you'd like to incorporate as well. Vanya and Stephen have made great connections between the title. Stephen was reading the caption. He was also looking at a picture and knowing where he came from and where he's trying to go. Exactly. So you're doing some excellent thinking around those nonfiction text features. So let's go ahead and read the text.
Called a pond. Tiger was captured and taken to an aquarium in Iceland. He never tried to sail in his pond again. Tiger was
You went from whole group, we practiced together. We went to small group work, where you had a chance to practice that. And you are going to have a chance to practice that independently. Okay? We also, when we went back to the end of the story, you had a chance to confirm or revise your thinking. Okay? Did our thinking come true? Were our smart anticipations needing to be changed a little bit?
Yeah.
And that's what flexible, good readers do. They change their thinking or they agree with themselves. That's the work I want you to continue to do independently. Use your nonfiction text features before you read. Start making smart anticipations. Use those nonfiction text features during your reading. Check in on your understanding. And use them after you read to make meaning of the whole text. Put all of the pieces together. I want you to confirm and revise your thinking. Boys and girls, you have been using those nonfiction text features before we read to start thinking about what the text might be about. We use those nonfiction features during our reading to check in on our understanding. After our reading, we use them to again check in on our understanding. We do also confirm and revise our thinking. So today we're going to be continuing to use this text. While we're reading, I want you thinking about what is this whole text about? One-of-a-kind habitat. Right? Boys and girls, what is this text all about? Turn and talk. What is this text all about? Read. We can come back to those nonfiction text features to help us make meaning and just to put all of the pieces together. So what is this text all about? What is this text about? Sarah, what are you thinking? What's the summary?
It's about that they have to care for the animals.
And think about this main idea. Okay? There's an beware of what's around us, care about the animals. Why did the author write this text?
He wanted us to know what we are doing to the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the author
because they wanted us to realize what we're doing it to
like
how we're
tourists.
poisoning.
Let's say you visited Galapagos once, so then you're like, oh, I should not have done that. I won't do it again.
I know.
Like you're
apologizing. They're trying to tell us that, do you realize what's happening? Do you realize that we need to save
Do you realize what you did?
Yeah. But animals, because they're
Who really owns the ocean? We've got this tanker who's carrying oil. We've got all of these animals who live there and call it home. And we've got this major problem that has happened because the oil tanker has spilled oil. So who really owns the ocean? So why don't you really quickly turn and talk? Who do you think owns the ocean?
I think all of them.
I think probably everybody, because fish, they live Because we don't live in the water.
Us and the animals.
Why do you say that?
Because the animals, it's their home, and then us, it's our responsibility to take care of it, because it's like the animals let us come in there. I disagree with you. I think it's only for the animals, and if it wasn't for the animals, our ocean would be, like, bad. Well, I'm just saying the animals let us come in here sometimes. I think it's not the people, it's not ours, it's the animals. It's ours.
I think what the animals are trying to say is like we're kind of their enemies.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're trying to say.
Because sometimes like
animals.
we kill dolphins and sharks. Like
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. But if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have an ocean or the animals.
I agree with Philo because it's where the animals live and we don't live there, so we don't like really own it.
I agree with Sarah because it's really part of our world, so we have to take care of it.
I think when you try
I want you thinking about how do we work with our reading partners? How do we respond to each other? Okay, I want you to just watch Isla and I. And so I want you thinking about what are we doing well, what are we not doing so well, how is she helping me, how am I helping her, okay? So you can start reading it out.
Galapagos Island, February 2nd, a ship carrying gallons of...
Are you done yet?
No. Oil struck an underwater object of an island in Glasgow.
That's my turn. The field has spread over an area
What river is that?
larger than the city of Los Angeles. The animals. What is happening here?
you're not paying attention.
What am I doing?
And you're not being a good partner.
Am I learning from her?
No.
No. Am I helping her at all if she were to get stuck?
No,
Okay.
about other things around you.
I'm worrying about other things
And
around me.
you're looking into the window, touching the green cup with the pencils inside.
Sometimes things that are happening outside are really intriguing, but what we are focusing on is the work in front of us, okay? So now let's go ahead and look at how Isla and I are acting as partners. How would you like? Oh, thank you. Okay. A ship carrying 240,000 gallons of oil struck an underwater object off an island in the Galapagos chain. The ship Jessica tipped over and began leaking oil. Let me put that in.
Okay. Leaking oil. The fuel has spread over an area larger than the city of Los Angeles.
Okay, how is this different?
Way better. You're actually looking at her and staying on topic, and you're paying attention and looking, and you're also reading along and listening to her. And so, when it's your turn, you know where to start. And you guys are taking turns.
And we're taking turns. We're not fighting about it's my turn. How is she helping me? So when we are reading our nonfiction text with your partners, boys and girls, we want to make sure that you first preview the text features and make your smart anticipations. You want to stop and talk along the way to check in on your understanding. And third, you want to use those text features to confirm or revise your thinking after you're done reading.
I think that they're fighting over oil and the polar bears are losing their homes. Why do you say that? Because, like, fighting over the oil, I think that means there's just a little bit of oil left. And then compare this with this. Experts say that drilling could hurt the polar bears that live in.
You have had a chance to practice this reading work in our whole group. You have had a chance to practice this reading work with your small group partner work, and now you will have a chance to practice that in your independent work. When you go back to those independent reading books that you have and you're getting a nonfiction text, take a look and utilize those nonfiction text features before you read. Use them to gather some information. Where might this author be leading me? We use those nonfiction text features before to make those smart anticipations. During your reading, come back to them. Just check in on your understanding of the text, what's going on in this text. Use them after your reading to piece it all together, to summarize. You can come back and confirm or revise your thinking and think about what was all together.